That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Under the direction of Mr. Billy Bennett and Mr. Michael Simmons, it's the pride of the CIAA hailing from Maryland's oldest HBCU, founded in 1865. And since we've been keeping things real live, it's homecoming, Bulldogs. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you the Bowie State University Symphony of Soul.
And the challenge tent at the furthest end of the stadium from where the play happened, of course.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful.
And the Bulldogs come up with yet another turnover. Was looking for Cam Taylor there inside the 5. And a big blue far side. Till the lefty steps up, pop pass in the flats. It's picked off, and it's going to be 6. All the way to the house. Jadon Carter remaining. Joshua Thurston straight up the gut and to the house. It's now 40-11 on.
Baby, you dropped the bomb on me. But you turned me on. You dropped the bomb on me.
All right, Bulldog Nation, it is homecoming week. And listen, it's been a rough year. Yes, it's been a rough year. And at the end of the season, I'm going to do a State of the Bulldogs address and all of that. But forget about all that right now. Right now, once again, it is homecoming week. And let me tell you something. Yes, it's been a rough year so far. We've had some close games that I think we should have won that we didn't win. Like, I think we should have beat Davenport. I think we should have beat Fayetteville State. Those 2 wins, hey, man, we feel a little bit better about where we are. But, hey, it's gone. It's over with. Can't go back. Let's talk about this week. Once again, homecoming, which means what? We have a home game, a much-needed home game, because a lot of these losses have been on the road. We've played a whole lot of road. We only played 2 home games so far this year. So most of the games remaining are at home. Homecoming, obviously, versus Bluefield at home. We got Virginia Union at home. We got Lincoln at home. You know, the last one on the road is what school is that? I'm drawing a blank. Elizabeth City, which, listen, but that's beside the point. Homecoming. It's homecoming. Listen, this is a down year. No, obviously, it's a down year. But with that being said, there are certain games that you cannot lose. And let me tell you something. I don't care how much of a down year we are having. We are playing Bluefield State at home for homecoming. This is a must-win game. This is a must-win game. A must-win game. Bluefield State is horrible. They have 1 win this year. It was a non-conference team that honestly I wasn't too familiar with. I think it was Concord University. So I went and looked at Concord, and guess what? They haven't won a game. They're 0-6. So Bluefield's only win is versus a non-conference team that has no wins. If you look at their performances within the conference, it's All beatdowns for the most part, all blowouts. We have a conference opponent that is not very good at a time where we are in desperate need for a win. And it's homecoming. Listen, if we don't win this game convincingly, listen, this is this is a can't lose. Cannot lose this game. You cannot. This has to be a win. Especially when you look, Lincoln is having a very, very rough year this year. Lincoln is having a very tough year. Honestly, with Lincoln finishing, I think it was 5-5 last year or something like that, I was expecting Lincoln to kind of try to make a step. Lincoln has went backwards. Lincoln has been bad. But even with that being said, Lincoln played Bluefield last week and they mollywopped them. This is not a team. This is not a game that even needs to be close. Even with all the defensive issues that we've been having. At one point last week at Virginia State, honestly, it was a shaky thing as to whether we were going to be able to field kickoffs and punts. Yes. We turned the ball over on punts and kickoffs multiple times against Virginia State. We had the ball in plus territory, the 30-yard line and in, at least 3 different times without scoring a single point last week against Virginia State for their homecoming. Yes, that did happen. But even with all of that, this is Bluefield State. We beat them last year 40-11 at Bluefield. Gotta win this game. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They don't pass it all that well. They don't run it all that well. They don't possess the ball all that long. They're not good at anything. At this point, honestly, I'll just take a win. But truth be told, this should be a multiple score, multiple touchdown win. This should be a, hey, we having a rough year, but we ain't that bad. This should be a, hey, listen, we got some winnable games to close out the season. Let's finish this thing with 4 or 5 wins. Let's see if we can do that. With the opponents that we got and the amount of home games, let's see if we can make something happen and just finish with a respectable season. That streak of 10 plus years of having a winning season, that's out the window. But listen, there's a huge difference between being at the top of the conference, contending for championships, being a middle-of-the-road average team, and being a doormat. Not beating Lincoln, not beating Bluefield, not beating Elizabeth City, that's when you enter doormat status. If you can't win those games, now we got to have a whole nother, man. So like I said, this is a must-win game. I'm talking about by several touchdowns. Listen, I know we giving up more. We giving up, it seemed like 300 passing yards to everybody. If it's 1 week, guys got to know where their assignment is, and they got to shut down the pass and get some interceptions and turn the ball over and stop the run and score in the red zone and rush for 180 yards and pass for 200 and 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing and force 3. If it's any week in the season, what we going to do that? It has to be this week. It has to be. We saw how we looked in a conference game at home versus Livingstone, who's actually pretty good this year, surprisingly. At this point, if we cannot dominate Bluefield State, who is bad at everything, I don't even want to talk like that. This should be a party. We should be in there having a good time. I'm talking about a good time on campus, a beautiful day on campus, a huge win for them Bulldogs. That's what should happen. That's what must happen. Must. This is a must-win game. Let's go Bulldogs.